The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. My only request was that you all hit that like button, shared the video, and dropped an X in the comment section if you enjoyed hearing about Ripple and XRP. Now that June gloom is in the past, it's sunny in San Diego, and everyone can see the truth about the digital revolution. Introducing Ripple USD, a stable coin with a 1-to-1 USD backend that provides transparency and stability on the XRP ledger. Coming later this year is Ethereum. They are referring to it as the real coin, or Ripple coin, and we'll explain why in a bit. I've met with over a dozen senators from both the Democratic and Republican parties in Washington, D.C., over the past 2 days to talk about making sure crypto users are protected and how to establish clear regulations for the industry. Now that House Bill 21 has passed, there is considerable bipartisan momentum to pass it in the Senate. That the crypto vote is making a difference is encouraging. Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, is someone that I greatly like. To me, he looks like a fighter. In my opinion, he is tirelessly advocating for this industry. Moreover, we have undoubtedly seen him on the Hill before. Speaking out for digital asset holders like you and me. I was researching this topic today, and came across something on FinTech Finance News. Whether anyone else noticed this is something I cannot say. However, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the Bank of International Settlements, and the Innovation Hub in Singapore are currently working on a climate risk platform blueprint, which they have published in this post. The effects of climate change were cited as well. Who makes up the Bank of International Settlements task team, anyway? The demand for a proactive and flexible approach to the world's financial markets is growing at an unprecedented rate. What is Ripple? Isn't it wonderful how everything fits together? Those of us who take the time to sit down and pay attention keep this at the forefront of our minds every single day. They are free to detest us all they want, we have never been more explicit. Haters will hate, eventually, won't they? They're going to say we're insane. However, I believe that individuals who fail to perceive the obvious are to blame. Insane people are those. Things are getting out of hand, as Justin watches her mentor announce that trade in US dollars and euros has officially halted on the Moscow Stock Exchange in Russia. We are aware of that. We all know that the Brics countries are following the Chinese president's call to create a welcoming environment free of prejudice and bigotry in the digital economy. I am curious about XRP open permissionless. Therefore, it cannot perceive boundaries, can it? Nations are invisible to it. SWIFT, real USD, real GBP, real yen, and so on are all part of this worldwide network that will provide the digital infrastructure for the future financial system. Given that everything is linked to SWIFT, what is going to be required to link to a digital asset network that is linked to every single bank in the country, including the largest ones? Also, while we aren't familiar with 1,000 banks, we are aware of hundreds, if not hundreds, of major international banks that they have partnered with or are otherwise collaborating with. However, XRP has already processed transactions for thousands of banks, and there are likely countless more that have not yet come out with their non-disclosure agreements. The Saudi Arabian Central Bank collaborated with Ripple in 2018, which is when we first saw their connections with Ripple, so naturally, we've been discussing Saudi Arabia and its ties to Ripple ever since. Since no new deal has been reached to replace the 50-year-old petrodollar accord, Saudi Arabia will now sell its oil on several currencies, including the US dollar, euros, yen WAN, and the Chinese RMB. In other news, CFTC Chair Gary Gensler and Eleanor Tara's new SEC report came out tomorrow. At 10 a.m., the chair will make an appearance before the Senate Appropriations Committee. Naturally, I will keep you all informed of any developments, but in order to testify to their investigation into the projected budget demands for 2025, the SEC has requested 2 points. We will have the opportunity to ask the chairman and vice chair policy questions. Digital assets will undoubtedly come up. and I will inform you all and keep you updated in real time. The CFTC has requested nearly $2.6 billion. Only approximately 400 million senators will be asked. Now this is news that got the market soaring today. US inflation falls at 3.3%, lower than expected. But the Federal Reserve eventually stated that interest rates will be kept unchanged, with only a single cut possible. It was already widely anticipated that interest rate cuts would be necessary to kickstart the economy. Now that will also lead to price increases. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, is at 3.3. Inflation is significantly higher, according to their claims. Inflation has been above 3% for 38 months running, and the data continues to pile on top of several years of already inflated prices, making many essential requirements, such as car insurance, transportation, hospital car repairs, power, and so on, exceedingly expensive. Half of American people think we're in a recession, affordability is getting harder, and things are getting worse, all because of the compounding effect of inflation. A lot of individuals don't have the savings to put away and invest in chances like digital assets like XRP. So if you're even somewhat involved in the cryptocurrency market, you should feel proud of yourself. Just like the internet expanded by layering several technologies, blockchain will gain widespread use by doing the same. The next 12 months, more and more businesses are jumping on the blockchain bandwagon, and I couldn't be happier to see that the initiative is making headway. What excites me the most about this year isn't just the calendar year. It has to do with the abstraction layers that people are building to make these technologies more approachable and user-friendly, which is important for the industry as a whole, especially the XRPL, and I can't wait to see what happens. Those are paramount importance. We're making huge strides as Tom Orwella, and what's more, we need a stable coin, the real deal, rippling steady coin, that isn't compliant and lacks transparency. Who is now Stellar's product manager, and has worked at Media Lab before. Share this with the world today. Hey there, Brad. Brad Garlin House here. If you're looking for a blockchain network that can issue real USD in 2024, one with a clear product market fit for real-world use cases, you should look into Stellar. I couldn't agree with you more. Financial innovation is at the forefront of Stellar, and David Schwartz, who represents Ripples, can contribute to XRP-L Apex. Behold this extensive lineup. Behold this extensive catalog. The infrastructure they have built over the last 12 years is one of my greatest accomplishments. All of our partnerships with banks and other financial institutions are helping us advance, and more students join every day. This is particularly true in light of the recent announcements from the Digital Pound Foundation in anticipation of the USD debut. A successful acquisition of Standard Custody and Trust was announced yesterday by the Digital Pound Foundation, whose stablecoin, Ripple, is backed by the USD. These guys have deep roots, and now the CEO of Standard Custody, Jack McDonald, is doubling down on this and putting out smoke. Software supplier and DTC formed a partnership. Our Trio will be utilizing our Trio to launch the Eon product. The Corda distributed ledger technology is something we're starting to get our hands on. Our 3 XRP blockchains process over 100,000 transactions daily with a weight, and the DTCC folks process over 2.3 quadrillion. You guys, I thought this was hilarious. Perhaps you're familiar with this. I don't know if you have. Greg was correctly. Distribute this tweet. May 16, 2011, that is. He added that it was a mistake to sell my 1,700 Bitcoin for 30 cents, when they were worth 6 cents instead. The video ends there. Support my channel with a like and a subscription. Muchas gracias, depart.